Hello again and welcome to episode 41 of the PS Podcast, Australia's #1 PlayStation podcast, hosted by me. I'm one of your hosts,
Us.
Kale Adam, and as ever I'm joined by Govinda, something distinguished, wearing a bomber jacket, Whitehurst.
It's not a bomber jacket, but
Well, you're kind of a bad
potatoes,
bomber.
potatoes.
If you like what we do here, you can review us on iTunes. 5 stars, please, and tweet at us at _PS podcast to suggest topics for the show. We also have a Facebook page where you can join our ever-growing community. We post episodes weekly and cover everything from Uncharted to Parappa the Rapper. And now on with the show. Govinda, have you been playing anything this week?
No, not really. Like, I barely even played Overwatch this week. It's been a busy week for me. Played a little bit of that Fury game, PS Plus game.
Yep, I played some Fury.
Not a fan, personally.
I haven't seen enough. She's quick. She's really quick. She's a quick beast.
What, Fury?
The combat system in Fury, yes.
Yeah, it's... The combat, it's not the problem. It's like the other system choices that I don't like.
Yes, you mean being bumped back to the start of a fight.
I just don't like how the health works.
Okay.
So you have, like, I think as you're here, you've got 4 health bars.
Yeah.
So you got your first one and then 3 more.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And then it's pretty much just boss fights in an arena, twin stick shooter style kind of, but you've got other like slash abilities.
I will say, the bits in between, because it is just boss fights and then you walk to the next one.
Yep.
But the walking's like, it's not awful. I thought it was gonna be, but like, you've kind of got that spirit guide guy from Donnie Darko.
Yeah, full transparency. Like, I didn't even beat the first boss before I decided this wasn't for me. And
yeah.
I walked to the first boss and instantly was like, why can't I walk properly? Like, it's really...
You only ever walk at that speed. My complaint with the walking is this, and it's not even... So, I beat the first boss and you go to the second, you're just walking in a line, and this guy's talking to you, and it's actually, like, really well voiced. And it's kind of compelling. I'm interested to see what happens. But I'm holding the stick to walk, and you just move at such a maddeningly slow... It's like in Final Fantasy VII if you're not holding the run button.
But even the controls while you walk are just like... It's so weird and just felt like almost as if like old school tank controls.
That's what it is.
And shit. I was like, this is...
But that's not my issue. My issue is I'm holding the button just for like maybe 3 minutes. Or the stick, sorry. And then I like just, took my hand away for a second and realized it was auto-walking. Which is nice, but then I couldn't get it to auto walk again, and I don't really know what's going on there.
Yeah, I don't know. The combat's not the problem. Combat's actually really fast and actually quite slick and good. My problem is that you will fight someone, they'll lose a health bar, and then if you lose a health bar, they get their health bar back. And it's this weird tug of war that, in my experience, went on for far too long. Yep. And then I died, and I get taken back to the very beginning. And I feel like I committed 20 minutes to this battle, and then I'm just back at the beginning, and I've made no progress.
Yep.
And it happened to me twice. And I was just like, I'm not doing that again.
I didn't have that problem, at least with the first boss. I see what you mean, though. I haven't actually died, so I didn't know that was the punishment.
And because it was the first boss, it takes you back to, like, tutorial parts of the fight.
Yep.
Where he's like, you can only charge slash him, or you have to dodge attacks a certain amount of times before you go to the next thing. I was just like, fuck this. Like, I just want your health to go down and my health to go down, and when all our health's down, someone wins.
It is, it's undeniably epic, though. Like, some of the second boss fight is like, it felt like a season of Dragon Ball Z. In one battle, like, you're fighting this woman and she's sort of like strapped up, and as you take off her health bars, she sort of like frees herself, and eventually like she's, like fights completely differently, like, cause she's kind of strapped to a wheelie chair thing, and she has a scythe, and I really like got into it, like I learned her moves. It felt like Bloodborne, like I was just dodging and like perfectly parrying. You can get health back.
By parrying, yeah. You can also, when he was shooting blasts out, you can actually shoot
the blast.
Certain blasts to give yourself like a pathway through, and then they'll drop little health things. I get it all. I understood how it works. I just didn't like that I would get pushed so far back into a battle that I'm doing tutorials again.
Yep.
And B, that they just, for me, the battles went on for too long.
Yeah. Like my hands were, I was like shaking after a while.
I was getting like cramps and stuff. I was like, no, it's too long. Like, why are we regenerating full bars of health randomly. Like, I don't...
And it is, like, it's hard to burst damage down. Like, it kind of, like, because sometimes, especially, I got up to the third boss, and he would sort of get into these things where, like, there'll be bullet hell bits. Oh, maybe that was the second boss, actually.
No, even the first boss had bullet hell bits where he just sprays out
and you can't hurt him
everywhere. And
yeah.
You can. Like, I figured, like, you can just shoot him constantly from a distance.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know. The combat was great. I just didn't mesh well with me.
So what you're saying is Richard Wood doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Well, if I played that game for 5 minutes out in the convention, I would have been like, this is going to be sick.
Yeah, it's...
But give me an hour or two with it, and I was like, it's just not... It felt a little half-baked.
It definitely looks old.
Half-baked.
Yeah, like some of like the danger icons, like when the ground flashes red, it looks like old.
Just the character models are kind of hit and miss for me. Like, some look good and some look kind of weird and not good.
And I mean, it's obviously an influence, but Afro Samurai is just like, that is this game. Like, even down to like the weird, I guess, spirit guide you have with you. And even like the main character sort of being this like neo-samurai kind of. I don't know, I think it's cool. It's one of those games though, like I played it for like an hour or so, got up to the third boss. I don't know if I'll go back. Only because the third boss, like, I feel like I'm going to need to dedicate time to. I gave up on it. I was just like, this is hard.
Yeah, no, it wasn't for me. People might like it. Its combat, again, is actually pretty solid.
Yep.
But I just, no.
It's free.
It was a game that I immediately was like, I'm interested to see what they do next.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, I mean, again, you can't go wrong. PlayStation Plus this month, definitely worth checking out.
Oh yeah, definitely check it out. It's free, so you could definitely love it. If it's your sort of thing and you love boss battles that are kind of, I don't know, it's like a grindy boss battle. I just couldn't do it personally.
Our boy Georgie's been smashing it out. He's been tweeting at me. You're a better man than I, Georgie. At least in this game. So I've been playing Zero Escape, Zero Time Dilemma. This is the Vita game I went with last week. It's really cool. Although I will say straight away, visual novel.
Visual novel, graphic novel, all the same shit pretty much.
With puzzles. But I just immediately, like before I even started the game, I had a walkthrough up. I ain't fucking around with puzzles. I hate puzzle games. I really don't. And especially this kind of puzzle, because some of them are just so over the top. It's a really, I was surprised how, like, unsettling it is. It's a very dark game.
What is it? I don't even know.
So, I think it's called, so there's this thing in this game called the Decision Game, and it's basically kind of like Saw. 9 people are put into a complex, and 6 of them need to die before the other 3 can escape. And they're all, the caveat is they're all wearing wristbands, and I think it's every 90 minutes, they're injected with something that makes them pass out and forget the last 90 minutes.
Oh, so, fucking brutal.
Yeah, so the 3, like, you'll play as, like, either one of these teams, and you'll wake up, you've got 3 people, and you're in a room, and, it's really, done in a really weird way, in that, say you play a room and you escape, maybe some of the people in your room will die, or, you know, like, there's a lot of branching, paths here. And you'll get an ending every single time. Like, the game ends every single time. Like, maybe everyone dies. Maybe someone goes insane. Like, all these things. Like, for example, I'm going to spoil one room.
Wait. I'm confused. After every room, that game ends.
Yep. So, for example, you're in one room and you do all these puzzles to find the way out. And there's suits of armor in it, and they have miniguns inside them. And the whole thing comes down to, like, the Saw guy, Jigsaw, or... His name's Zero in this game, but you get the idea. He goes, all right, good job doing all that. Now you've got 3 dice. I want you all to roll them. And if all 3 ones come up, you'll get out alive. And so, like, the odds, they talk about the odds of that. Like, what are the odds of us rolling 3 ones? And so you roll the dice. That's your only option. Everyone dies. And you're shown, like, a cinematic where they all die and then, like, one of the other teams gets out. Game over. And then it's done in this fragmented way where you reload that.
Wait, I'm lost. I'm not understanding how this is working. Teams? You said teams, and I have no idea where the teams come in.
So there's 3 teams. There's 9 people in there.
Okay.
3 teams to 3. You only have a controlling one.
So all teams get 3 dice to roll, and if...
No. That's just this one room. The other teams are in different rooms doing their own thing.
Okay.
You don't control them.
Okay. I thought you were all in the same room.
But then, yeah, so you get to, like, weird things. And the way the story's told, you can pick to be any team and, like, where they wake up at any point. So, yeah, everyone dies, you roll the dice, you do it again. Because you can see the way, like, the story branches, there is an ending there. But I just wasn't getting it. So you do it again, same thing happens. But different dice result. Everyone dies again. So I reloaded a third time, and they get 3 1s. And they talk about, like, what are the odds of that? And then it starts to get a bit meta, and they're talking about, like, how many times have we been doing this? Like, is this... It's a very deep story. Like, there's some dark shit going on. And they get out. And, like, they find that the other 6 people have died, and they leave. And that's a good ending. And then you go to another room and pick, like, another team to start as. It's hard to describe.
It really is. I'm struggling to understand it all. I kind of get it.
Yeah, it's... I really like the story. I just don't love the puzzle elements, because they are fucking obtuse. It would be the kind of thing I would walk away from if I didn't have a guide. I just couldn't handle it. I don't know, like, it's similar to Danganronpa. I think I prefer that, though, because it has more of a focus on story.
I just don't like the trials in Danganronpa.
Yeah, they take a bit of... They're the same, actually. Some of them are like, I would never figure them out.
Yeah, like, I had a guide even when I was playing the first one. I will never finish that game. I've accepted it.
It's a good game.
I'm not going to do it.
Well...
I'm sorry.
You're disappointed.
Too many truth bullets for me.
A lot of truth bullets. So yeah, that's all I've really been playing. I played a bit of Overwatch. But we don't talk about that here anymore.
Oh yeah, let's mention that. So we named... we started a podcast, we called it something, and then upon doing preliminary research after already naming it and whatnot,
turns out there's maybe 20 overcasts.
Many podcasts called Overcast. There's even a podcast app called Overcast. So we've gone back to the drawing board. We've rebranded. Episode 1, rebranding.
Yep.
It's now called Nerf This.
Nerf This.
Nerf This. Famous line from the game.
So yeah, that's where we're at.
So it's not even on iTunes at the moment.
Yeah, it hasn't propagated. Why?
Probably won't. I don't know. I might have to upload the thing anyway. Doesn't matter.
It's back end shit, dude.
Nerf This. Maybe it'll be up. Maybe it won't. Maybe you'll never hear it.
I'll tweet about it when it's up.
Maybe he will. Maybe he won't.
Follow us at the _PS podcast. I was going to get real political and tweet about those, like all the stuff going on in America at the moment.
Well,
but I won't do that.
Nah, we're not there, man. I wasn't there.
Okay.
I think it's the government. Personally.
I just had to live another day under Australia's draconian gun control laws.
What other way to propagate the segregation of the white people and the black people than by having snipers at a black protest?
Yeah.
Who knows who the snipers were?
Well, you'll have to,
Were they black? Were they white?
Who knows?
But that is it's gonna really reinforce that cultural divide.
Oh, look, it's tough times, Cotton. We want to see how everything
Bold
plays
strategy,
out.
Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
That's what I was looking for. Give me that beat.
What beat?
You know what beat.
Boom, boom, boom,
Boom,
boom, boom,
what?
boom.
No, I'm actually just a hype guy. That's all I can do. I got nothing else.
Time for the news that we maybe care about, but it's really kale.
I'm really sorry.
That's gross.
I'm going through puberty. It's a tough time. Speaking with games, just going to take that
Try it again.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a hell of a day. Speaking with GameSpot, From Software president and Dark Souls 3 director Hidetaka Miyazaki revealed that fans who want a Demon Souls remake will need to talk to Sony as they own the IP. And if a remake or remaster does happen, they probably won't be involved. Miyazaki offered up a response to comics and mobile game tie-ins for the Dark Souls series, saying that the franchise is Bandai Namco's entertainment IP, and collaborations have crossed his mind before. Quote, "It's because I figured there wouldn't be enough time for me to work on one, and that would probably lead to something worse." End quote, he added. As for a potential Dark Souls movie, he said that in regards to movies, my stance doesn't change from what I feel